My name is Diankara Chef, private chef, winner and judge of Zimbabwe's premier cooking show, Battle of the Chefs. I've been working in this industry for 11 years, traveled the globe from Italy to Ethiopia to Kenya to Botswana, but I always had a burning question. What is Zimbabwean cuisine? Are we eating the foods we used to eat? Are we cooking them the way we used to cook them? So I've taken it upon myself to travel Zimbabwe and find out just what Zimbabwean food is. Welcome to I'm calling it my Rushinga experience. So I had the opportunity to go to Rushinga and had some traditional food taught by the ladies there, and it was the best food experience that I've had, well, ever. So I just took a few of the dishes and I thought I'll call you guys. I know you guys speak your mind. So I thought I would do a few dishes and then hear what you think. So I hope you like it, and I hope we can have a good conversation about traditional food done in a modern way. Inviting guests to one of my pop-ups or my food experiences is always a nervous moment for me because I don't know how they're going to take it. I'm always nervous to find out what they say, how they react to the food, and their feedback, which is what's most important.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much.
So this is our first course. So when we were in Rushinga, we had what was called mabumbe, which was one of the things that opened my mind to the food possibilities in Zimbabwe. So it's basically seeds that are toasted, pounded, and then formed using a tomato just to bind them. And then they are cooked with nyemba, which are cowpeas, the leaves, the dried leaves of the nyemba. And we had that with zio sadza, which is finger millet. So this is a dish inspired by that. So the finger millet is actually in the pasta. Okay. So it's a finger millet pasta, and the mabumbe is on top there. And cowpea, I use the leaves to make the sauce that's at the bottom. So I've tried to maintain everything in its true flavor. Didn't put too much in there. So please enjoy. Let me know what you think.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Try the mabumbe first, just a little piece, and
okay.
Yeah. So they were calling it African sausage. So vegans, this will be good because there's no meat. It's just seeds. Yeah.
I think the presentation of it in this format lowers the hurdles towards to trying out traditional flavors.
Yeah.
Because I think mentally sometimes we just find it in a mold, in a round mold.
Yes.
Or it's just on the side, but it's well plated and it really is exciting to attend to.
Yeah.
I love the smoothness of the pasta. So smooth and silky.
You never go wrong with fresh pasta. That's what I say.
Definitely.
Once you taste fresh pasta, you generally don't go back.
You don't go back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's the challenge of trying to get people beyond just thinking traditional food can't be modern, can't be reinvented. And food is about putting your own interpretation of traditional things.
Right.
So most of the foods that are eaten in the West are all traditional. Someone's grandmother used to cook them for him. He just made it modern, either by processes or like the pasta and things like that. So usually I'll put a menu and I'll write zio. Zio nemabumbe. Because that in your mind you're picturing something, but then when it comes it's something else.
Something totally.
What is mabumbe? What does it look like?
It's just the seeds pounded and then
What plant is it from?
So it's you can use pumpkin seeds, you can use watermelon seed,
Okay.
you can use different gourds that are found. You can use what can you use? Basically, most seeds you can use. I put a bit of sunflower seeds in this as well.
Okay.
So just the seeds, toast them a bit, then pound them together. Then they use tomato to then bind it. So they pound it until it's bound, and the oils come to the top.
Okay.
And you can use those oils to cook.
Okay.
And actually, that powder, before you pound it, if you have no oil at home, you can actually put that in your veg, like spinach or rape, whatever. That would, the oils will then come out, and then that will be the oil component.
Wow.
So you won't need oil to cook with that.
So conservative.
Yeah, exactly. And ingenious, like that told me that in the rural areas they are quite ingenious with their food. Like who thought about that, like pounding it, and they called it African sausage, so that's their meat alternative. So obviously it was when meat was a bit of a problem. And besides, we are foragers, and so meat is not really part of our diet per se.
And you said you've never made this before. This was your first time?
Yep.
Wow.
So you didn't have like a test version of this?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So how does it
This is
work?
the first.
You just have your ingredients and then you picture you've got this vision and you come up with this amazing meal?
So I just see how I can, obviously, for the Rio, I thought, what can I do? It's either pasta. So I thought, okay, pasta. The nyemba leaves, what can I do those to transform them? The sauce. The mabumba, I try to keep them as natural as possible. So yeah, that's how I come about with that. And then when I'm cooking, I'm always tasting.
Right.
Always tasting to add. And then I saw the oil. When I made the sauce, because I made it with the mabumba, it had oil. So oil settled to the top. I removed that oil and then put a bit of parsley. So when the pasta came out, I put that in that oil and parsley, so to give it another flavor. So I like to layer flavors. So when you're eating, you're having different
You can
flavors.
tell, yeah, you can.
Hence the tomato as well, which is a bit of freshness to cut through the richness. So
It's a
I
good
really enjoyed this.
It's a really good fusion of so many different
Yeah.
flavors.
Yeah. And I like the way
Very.
the flavors are so balanced.
Mm.
Nothing is overpowering or underpowered.
Thank you.
If there's a word like that, but it's
Yeah.
just all balanced so well.
And the tomato just gave it that
Mm.
extra element.
Some freshness and the tartness. If you modernize something, it has to come from a base. So
Right.
first we have to understand the traditions. So hence going to Rushinga, wherever across Zimbabwe, understanding how they did these things back in the day, their thought process. Then the job of the chef is to be creative with what they're doing and modernize it. So we're not throwing away the traditions. We're just modernizing them. And I believe that once I do this, people have a greater appreciation of Zulu because I've modernized it. So I'm not throwing it away. I'm not saying stop eating Zulu in its traditional form, but I'm saying sometimes, try it out in a different
In a
way.
different way, yeah.
And we have to get our young kids to
Definitely.
eat
To
this stuff. So
appreciate.
sometimes bring it the way it was cooked 50 years ago is not the best way.
Yeah.
So if we introduce this slowly, they get into it and maybe they get curious to find out about our traditions based on the modern dish that they had. So that, for me, that's what's important.
Wow. Wow, thank you.
Wow, thank you. I cannot wait. I'm taking a picture.
All right, guys. So this is the dessert. This is based on a drink called honjoriro. That's what they call it in Rushinga.
Honjo?
Honjoriro.
Onjoriro.
Honjoriro.
Yes.
It's a what?
It's a drink.
A drink.
So they, so when they're making sorghum, they pound it and then they sieve it 3 times. So the second sieve they use to make honjoriro. So it's just the sorghum, milk, and baobab. There's a little baobab there. So sorghum, milk, and baobab. If you want to put sweetness, you can put sugar, honey, whatever. But generally, they don't put anything sweet. So the cake is made with the sorghum. So it's a sorghum cake. It's actually a brown butter sorghum cake
Can you smell it?
with lemon and orange syrup, and then a baobab and mascarpone cheese ice cream.
Wow.
Did
A
you
baobab.
say that again, the ice cream?
It's a baobab and mascarpone cheese ice cream.
Mascarpone.
Yes,
Wow.
it's like a cream cheese. It's an Italian cream cheese.
Oh.
And then just to play on the whole raw thing is just some raw
Can't
sorghum
wait.
with some brown sugar. at the
Wow.
bottom there.
Okay.
Does the ice cream have a bit of citrus? What's
It's
the
a
lemon?
baobab.
It's the baobab.
Baobab has got some tartness to
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Yeah, it's got this burst.
It's got more vitamin C than orange. Baobab.
Wow. Oh yeah.
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 It's got this burst in your mouth
Yeah.
as you.
I need to call my daughter. She
Wow.
loves baobab.
Oh my goodness.
This is the ice cream is amazing.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
No additional anything to the sorghum.
Just sorghum with a bit of brown sugar. So I like it because when they make the sorghum meal, they toast the sorghum. So actually, they say that if you're making it somewhere in the road, the aroma goes that end. Literally, it was like the best basmati rice that you've ever
Wow.
smelled. That's so the sorghum really has a nice aroma to it.
And what's putting the crunch in the ice cream? There's a
Crunch.
crunch.
And probably it's the fibers of the baobab.
All the fibers of
Yeah.
and ginger. Oh, that's
It's
the
literally baobab, milk, bit of cream, and mascarpone. Nothing else. When they gave me glowing reactions, I was surprised. I don't want to lie. I mean, I constantly taste my food, so tasting my food, I wasn't happy with it. But I was pleasantly surprised that they enjoyed it, and that what I wanted to come through really came through from the comments they gave me. Based on the feedback that I received today, I'm more confident about experimenting with traditional Zimbabwean cuisine. Being creative with our traditional food is actually a good thing, because people will then ask questions about what is honjori, what is mabumbe, what is rio, because of those things that you've explained in a story encased in your food. My future with Zimbabwean, even African food, is that I would like to understand it. So Rushinga was almost like my light bulb moment. Even though I've been wanting to travel the country, being in Rushinga and experiencing the knowledge from the women there really was an eye-opener and something that I would really love to do. So my thing is creativity, but in order to be creative, I first have to understand the basics, understand the traditions. Only then can I create more modern Zimbabwean cuisine. So for me, my hope is that I can travel the length and the breadth of Zimbabwe, the length and the breadth of Africa, and understand the traditions that make us who we are, but then from there create modern versions of those traditions so that they can be stories that can be told to international communities, to the next generation that may not like the traditions the way they were, but may accept them in a more palatable way.